Joining us is Cliff Schecter, nationally syndicated columnist, also president of the progressive PR firm Libertas, LLC, and co-founder of and co-owner of We Act Radio in Washington, D.C., one of our newest affiliates. Cliff, great to talk to you.
Great to talk to you too, David. Thanks for having me on.
So we've already gone through kind of the logistics, the nitty-gritty of the Obama I support gay marriage decision. We've already gone through the incredible coverage by our friends over at Fox and Friends on Fox News and the accusation that the president has flip-flopped and declared a war on marriage. So I think a good point to start with you would be, let's look at the logistics of this. People wanting to know, when it comes to the election, will this gain or lose the president more votes? And is it really going to come down to looking at individual states that this might swing?
It does. It always comes down, and there's always risk. I mean, we know what just happened in North Carolina. But again, I don't always think that those votes are representative of everyone who comes out in a presidential election. People need to remember this was a different election, and the electorate usually are the most intense, and sadly that often are these older, whiter voters in certain southern, and I'm sitting here in Ohio, certain Midwestern states that come out and vote when it comes to this kind of thing, just vote out of anger. When it comes to a presidential election, I think President Obama, look, let's be honest, he's done some really great things. The auto bailout, I'm one who's very much in favor of what he did with bin Laden. I think a lot of progressives were, some maybe not quite as much, but he's lost progressives on some other issues. Some thought, I mean, I've been critical at times in the past, the stimulus not being big enough, and we really wanted him to push for the public option. And look, there's other things like Guantanamo still being open. And that's not to poo-poo on what he's done. It's to say that the excitement level is not quite there. This amps up the excitement level. It's not just the gay community, but it's liberals and who really get excited about this. Younger voters who, many people, younger, 30 and under certainly, maybe even 40 and under, don't even understand for the most part why this is an issue. And I think in a lot of states that are growing states with growing urban and suburban areas, I think this can only be helpful to him. I think largely those that were going to vote against him would have done that already. I think that other groups that maybe aren't overwhelmingly in favor, I think maybe independents, although some polls have shown up to 60% of them in favor of gay marriage, but some other groups, I don't think this is one of those that says, okay, it's a deal breaker.
Okay, well, let's talk about specifically Florida for the sake of discussion. Florida is one where in 2008, President Obama carried the state, I think it was about 51 to 48, and at the same time voted against gay marriage. I think it was around 60-40 or something like that. Now, at the time, they were voting for candidate Obama, who had not expressed full support of gay marriage, so to speak. So is that one state, given how close it is, and again, we have to throw in the increasing Hispanic population as well into our calculation, that this potentially could push the other way?
It could. I mean, there's risk inherent in this. There's just no doubt. Polling shows a slight majority in favor, but again, we're talking swing states, as you said. We're talking different groups. But again, I think there are some voters, the working class voters, the ones we're really talking about here. If you really want to break this down, and let's get past political correctness, there are a few different groups that haven't been as much in favor of gay marriage. The African-American voting population, the Hispanic voting population, white working class voters. Well, the African-American voting population is going to be with Obama no matter what. The Hispanic voting population increasingly is, and I don't think this is a deal breaker because they're with him so much on economic issues. The white working classes has already been moving away. Even those demographers, Rui Teixeira and others that wrote the book, The Emerging Democratic Majority, who used to argue that the Democrats had to win back a big share of the working class vote. They've somewhat revised their calculations and said that, look, this is just not necessarily doable anymore. Sure, you don't want to get hammered among that vote, but white men, you're just not going to win back a large portion of them. So what do you need to do? You need to excite younger voters to turn out. You need to excite sort of urban, suburban voters to turn out. These are the ones that have been the most single women. These have been some of the ones that have become more disappointed by some of the economic decisions, and I think that this will help turn them out. So is it foolproof? Of course not. But I would point out that that's one thing. I think he can turn out some voters who he might not have turned out, who wouldn't have been as active. He can raise some money from the gay community, which overwhelmingly is a pretty financially strong community when it comes to giving money. And I would say, that with some of the voters he's going to lose, I suspect he'd lose them anyhow. I suspect they'd find other reasons not to vote for him.
Last thing I want to touch on is Mitt Romney. A top Romney advisor said, I don't know if it was late yesterday or earlier today, will now campaign on a constitutional marriage ban. Two questions on that. Number one, does that have the potential to actually work? And number two, doesn't that further expose Romney to pointing out the incredible hypocrisy and unstable nature of his opinions, given what he did here in my state of Massachusetts as governor?
Yes and yes. No, but I'll talk more about it. I mean, yeah, look at what, I mean, it makes him, he obviously is such an incredible hypocrite already. The Etch-a-Sketch thing is out there. It's only going to be more discussed and all over the place, you know, in Ohio, Florida, North Carolina during the election. And he's going to, when he does this, when you find gay pride flyers from it that his campaign put out in 2002 in your state and other things, it's just going to show him to be the bigger hypocrite he is. And again, I think they're thinking the electorate is the same electorate as 2004. The country has moved so swiftly. I've never seen on any issue the movement that there has been on the issue of gay marriage. And I just think in the end, they're barking up the wrong tree. I think the key here for Obama, if he wants to hold on to some of these white working class voters, if he refuses to bargain on Social Security and Medicare, which is another issue, and he talks those issues up and how Mitt Romney is going to cut Social Security, cut Medicare, these such important programs, I think he can hold on to some of those voters while still winning all these others. And again, you know, I'm not one of these guys with pom-poms for Obama. I mean, this is just an analysis from looking at things. I just don't see Romney winning over all these voters who are saying gay marriage is such a threat. You know, I mean, yeah, he might, you know, in certain states, he might in Alabama, he might in Utah. News. Those are long gone anyhow. I just don't see him. Maybe it'll make the difference. It could in a few places in Indiana or North Carolina, and maybe that'll cost him those states. I don't see it costing Obama Virginia. I don't see it costing him Ohio. I don't see it overall costing him Florida. People, I know I'm going over my time here, but I'll say it quickly. In 2004, I think it was, when Florida voted for Bush, 70% of the people there also voted for the minimum wage to go up. People can also make distinctions, and I think they will.
All right, Cliff Schecter, nationally syndicated columnist and also president of progressive PR firm Libertas, LLC. Thanks for the analysis, Cliff, and we'll talk about it again soon.
Thanks for having me on.